I want to talk about personal finance, but more specifically, how do you manage your personal finances when you are also running a small business? And in Adrian's case, several small businesses. So we're going to talk to Adrian Hernandez, one of my millionaire friends that come back every week. How you doing, buddy?
What's going on, Zuber? What's going on, community? How's everybody doing?
I like it, man. Well, do me a favor. Let's talk about personal finances, but from a business owner's perspective. A lot of my channel, myself included, we're just employees, right? We
Right,
earn income, we pay taxes, we live on the rest. But when
right.
you're a business owner, you have some financial flexibility. You could take some expenses from below the line to above the line. How do you do that? How do you manage cash flow? Just all of those things. Let's talk personal finances, small business owner, wherever you want to go.
Yeah, first and foremost, you guys, I struggled with this for a very long time. I actually had to get some really, really good help because they don't teach none of this in school, right?
They do not. They don't.
Don't teach any of this in school. So, when I was an agent, I was running everything through my personal name without
Mm,
getting corporation set up. So, there was a lot of commingling going on at the beginning, right? Where it was like everything was one account and I housed everything as one account. So, like, first and foremost, anybody listening to this, give yourself some grace where you're at. Don't beat yourself up, right?
yeah.
We'll figure this out along the way. It's a work in progress for sure. But now, I have one bank account, right? And that pretty much handles like, there's two different companies in that one bank account. And the reason why is they don't do enough, the other one doesn't do enough revenue to be a standalone.
Mm,
However, they go hand in hand, right? So if the flips take a loss, then I can take a loss on, it goes hand in hand with my assignment fees,
yeah.
right? So that's one company is like the assignment fees and the flips. And I'm not a CPA, but my CPA kind of helped me set it up to where if there was profits from the wholesale company, right, I have the flip company to help
Yeah.
let's say reduce the amount that I'm going to spend in taxes on
Sure.
the assignment fee side.
Yeah. Because again, not a CPA, don't know your business setup, but essentially you have an acquisition and disposition business,
Right.
flipping, wholesaling. So at the end of those transactions, there's profit and or loss.
Right.
But the reason you have that entity is not the profit and loss. It's all the other expenses that go into it. Headcount, marketing,
Right.
systems, applications. And again, what people don't realize with a small business is one of the things you as the guy above it, you have to watch cash flow
Mm,
because you could technically be making a big profit and go broke. If
most
your
definitely.
profit falls once every 9 months, but you burn through your capital in 8 months, it doesn't matter. You're broke, right?
Exactly. And it's funny, we just literally went through that where we had, they say cash flow is everything, right? And I couldn't agree more, right? And being able to watch those cash flow cycles. We all have cash flow cycles, right? And that also can determine your production. So we had a huge amount of cash flow that came in, tons amount that went out in marketing, right? And because I wasn't really paying attention to the daily leads, what happened was our cash flow over the last 2 months kind of I don't want to say like, it went down, but it also like I'm still trying to find it. I went to
Yeah,
a drawer.
where to
I went into the
go?
drawer in the kitchen. I couldn't find it,
Yeah.
right?
Hey, who moved the cash flow?
So then you look at what you have saved, and that immediately, that's so I believe it's an art of being able to see that and being able to say forecast it and go, okay, we have a large surplus coming here, but hold on, we also have, like, for us, we spent $180,000 in marketing, right? Like, hold on, we have a huge Olympics bill that's coming up, right? And being able to, I don't want to say forecast, but know your cash flow cycles enough that it doesn't get you in trouble. And I hope that makes sense.
No, it does. I mean, again, as somebody who was an accountant, who got the advanced degree, who was a general ledger accountant for a Fortune 500 company as a first full-time job, a lot of people know the income statement. A lot of people know the balance sheet, but it's the cash flow statement that kills businesses.
Right.
And the simplest way I could put this is a lot of businesses like yours, I'm guessing, they have payment schedules that are net 30, right? You're running these ads, pay per click or whatever the heck they're called, or these mailers, and you are signing up contractually to pay that bill every 30 days.
Right.
So that's money going out, aka expenses. However, your revenue stream is not It's not tied to the calendar, right?
No.
You can get 4 transactions that close on the same day. You can get 0 for a month, right? So this is why, as a small business owner, I implore you to study the cash flow statement, because that'll tell you if you're growing or not. I mean, this one of the things that Grant Cardone says all the time is the first thing he does every day is look at his cash accounts.
Yeah.
Why is he doing that? Because that's telling him how healthy he is. What's
Right.
coming in, what's going out. Nobody's you if you're running a small business, you should only look at your balance sheet once a year when you have to fill out a personal financial statement.
Right.
Otherwise, it's complete garbage,
Yep.
right? Watch the cash flow.
Yep. Spot on. And then also for our business too, like we just had a huge amount that went out, and we know that it's coming. The problem is with our business is we have 90-day cycles, right?
Yeah.
We have, I mean, there's one that will make us whole on commercials, but it's not closing till December. Right. So do you have enough cash flow to sustain those marketing channels throughout the and I want to talk to agents and wholesalers real fast and flippers. If you guys are spending a lot in marketing, watch this. This is where we see most people completely go out of business, right? They're not taking that into consideration. Okay, I just got 3 deals locked up, but when are they closing? And how do you have enough for this new marketing channel to cover 4 to 5 months if it doesn't happen? Right. So back to the finances. One thing that is very crucial that all of you need to do is very important is you all have to get yourself a trust. I don't care how old you are. I don't care. There are 2 things that my mentor told me that I need, and that's life insurance and a trust. Right. And I recommend if you guys own a home, go put that home in that trust. Right. Put the home in the trust. You trust me, you're going to do your family a favor, especially if you're married, especially if you have kids. Those 2, I know we're talking about personal finances, right? But
Mhm.
it just came to mind because I care about you. Those are the 2 that is very important, guys.
Yeah. One of the things, let's go back to you being an agent. Forgive me, I don't know how agents are paid, but I'm guessing at the end of the year, you get something called a 1099. Is that correct?
Yep.
So one of the things I know about agents and a lot of 1099s is you are given a gross amount. You're not given like a W-2 employee a net amount.
No.
So a lot of agents that are new to the game forget that they owe some money to the IRS.
Yep.
And I have seen some disasters where real estate agents owe 6 figures with penalties to this. So one of the things you need to realize again is you will owe taxes if you make money and a profit. But again, you should set up a business, because one of the things that I believe about the tax code is it's an incentive to what the leaders want. They want small businesses, they want growth.
Right.
And one of the things that you may or may not do is you might buy or you might lease vehicles in your company. Because
Right.
if you lease a vehicle and you operate at 100% for business expense, you can write that off above the line. If you are in something where you can buy a vehicle over some amount of weight, you could use accelerated depreciation and take that hit all 1 year.
Yep.
So there are incentives, and we hear people like Grant and me, Kevin, buying planes, the same deal. But there are things that you could do as a business owner that you can't do as a W-2 employee.
100%. Yeah, my neighbors are, why every year do you have a new truck? Because it's a write off. It's a write off. Well, and I rather, and this is the way I see it too. Like for us, we're building a fleet of vehicles. So for the company, right? It's a write off. I'm gonna pay it to the IRS or to the company. So you
Yeah.
might as well pay it to, in my mind, right? Same thing with marketing too. Like when you're getting towards the end of the year and you see that, oh shoot, I'm gonna have to pay, $40,000. Can I take this 40 and put it into marketing?
Yeah.
Right. It
Yeah.
it
Can I prepay? Can I prepay something or whatnot?
right.
Perhaps.
I want to take a couple of steps back to what Zuber's saying on pay your taxes. You guys, the IRS showed up to my door, to my house after knocking on my neighbor's door to make sure that I lived where I lived because I owed them 3-4 years of taxes. So
Oh, not good.
what Zuber is saying is so spot on. And I was very naive. Again, they don't teach this in school, right? I didn't even have, like, my parents didn't even, God bless them, right? I love you guys, right?
Yeah.
But
They
they,
didn't know.
no one told me, right? Although common sense should have said, right? And at the end of the day, I knew what I was doing. Anyways, guys, it's not fun. I had to stroke a close to $300,000 check to the IRS. It's not fun at all. So do yourselves a favor, file the taxes. And as Zuber said, get yourself set up on a corporation. Rather that be an LLC, an S corp. We won't tell you. We're not CPAs.
Yeah.
But
Just have the conversation with your CPA. And if your
right,
CPA doesn't understand, get a new CPA.
100%. And
Yeah,
find,
what
and one thing, find a CPA that's in the business that works
yes.
with other people. Like that was another thing. When I first got started, I was dealing with the CPA that they, it
Yeah,
did.
family friend said, "Hey, talk to that
Yeah,
guy."
they did a great job, but I also, they also weren't, hey, Adrian, like, anyway, so be careful.
Yeah. Yeah, at the end of the day, personal finances as a small business, again, you can learn to leverage the tax code for your benefit. You can take stuff below the line, above the line. You got to watch cash flow because again, that's what typically kills a lot of businesses. Um, now that you've been doing this for a couple of years, you talked about that one account. I'm going to assume, please, you have a separate family account.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no
No.
commingling.
Yeah. No, now we have like, there's a trust account, there's a personal account, we have the wholesale account, the brokerage account. So now everything's separated into different
Yeah.
accounts.
Commingling, bad.
Yeah.
Don't do
Don't do
that.
it. Don't do it, guys. Be
don't
careful.
don't open yourself up for that. That's not good.
No.
Any other thoughts when you think about being an entrepreneur and personal finance? I think a lot of folks that watch content on YouTube see being an entrepreneur is the way to go. But what other thoughts do you have for that person who's going, I want to do that? What other advice you would give them?
Just as you took the time to learn your sales craft, you took the time to learn how to do deals, take the time to learn how to control your finances. No, you don't need to be a tax expert, but be knowledgeable. Like
Yeah.
one thing I do, I appreciate from other mentors is they told me, Adrian, go read about this stuff, go learn
Yeah.
about this stuff. Don't leave it to, yes, the CPA is there, but you may learn something that the CPA doesn't know. You may, so always be learning, guys, especially about this, because they always say it's not what you earn, right? It's what you keep, right? It's what
Yeah.
really goes into your pocket at the end of the day. And this is that biggest piece. So take time, learn it just as much as you've learned your sales craft.
Yeah, what I would tell an entrepreneur and frankly an investor, probably even more importantly for an investor, because that's where I kind of throw myself. I'm not an entrepreneur, is you want to have enough reserves because the last thing you want to become is a forced seller, right? The whole beauty of getting wealthy is owning assets for a decade. And if you
Right.
don't have enough reserves for the winter or the bad days or the surprises, you could become that forced seller. That's not something we want.
So good. So good. And not just, and I would take it a step deeper, personal reserves, business
Yes.
reserves, right? All of that, not just,
All
okay, I have 6 months, 6 months for what?
Yeah. For what? Exactly. No, believe me, Olivia and I have a capital account that's reserved for the portfolio. We have personal accounts. We have a travel account that's important to us, right? We have one account just for travel. Like
Right.
whatever's important to you, separate it. No commingling, folks. That you start double counting and bad stuff happens.
Yeah. It gets hard
It,
too.
it's
Good luck
hard.
going
Yeah.
back and doing that ledger for.
No, thank you. No,
Yeah.
thank you. Adrian, where can people find you?
Instagram, guys, at Adrian Hernandez. And if you haven't done so, hit that subscribe button. Let's go.
I appreciate you, buddy. Take care.